Welcome back to Brookes Sports coverage of UK Disability History Month. Today, I'm lucky enough to be joined by Grace Manning. Grace, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for asking. You're the first person to actually ask me that question. Grace, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm studying here at Brookes, doing a Masters in Public Health. I'm part of the swim team here. I'm president this year, and I was diagnosed with JIA when I was 5.
Could you tell us a bit more about JIA? Because I can honestly state I have no idea what it is.
So JIA stands for Juvenile Idiopathic Arthritis. So I was diagnosed with arthritis previous to 16 years old, and idiopathic means I don't know why, but basically my body just attacks itself, to put it in simple terms, and it's towards joints and tissues, and they become inflamed and painful.
Is this something you still suffer from? Because obviously the name Junior is in it, and you're now a fully grown woman.
Yeah, so that will stay with me. It will still be juvenile. It was just purely because I was diagnosed before I was 16.
So when were you diagnosed with JIA, and what was it like growing up with that?
So I was diagnosed when I was 5. I literally woke up one morning and my left knee was the size of a balloon and I couldn't walk. It was a long diagnosis. It's not a simple one with JIA. It's not, you've got this and this is the medication to treat it. So it was a long time to find that balance and management.
Did you ever have to miss school? Did it affect your studies when you were that young?
So from the ages of about 5 to 7, it just was slowly appearing in different joints. It didn't really impact my life in a huge deal. And then from the ages 7 to 8, I had a huge flare. They started treating it aggressively with medication, but it wasn't controlling it. Luckily, there was this new drugs called biologics that came out, and I was immediately put on, and it just completely changed everything. I was able to walk again, no pain, inflammation was gone, and schooling could continue, and swimming was back to normal.
Be honest, were you doping?
No! Why at 7?
Hey, I've heard the rumors you were flying up and down. So what did swimming do? Was that a release for you? Did it give you some control over what was happening in your life?
So I was swimming previous to the diagnosis, but then it all kind of came to a halt when that huge flare happened when I was 7. I wasn't able to get out of bed, so getting into the pool was just impossible. Once it was controlled and managed the pain and inflammation, first thing it was back in the pool, back to training, and that was my goal, really. I just wanted to get in the pool and back with my friends. And it was a sense of control. It wasn't, I'm restricted to bed, you can't walk down the stairs, you can't do this. It was a sense of control because I was finally doing something that I wanted to do.
So let's jump ahead about a decade. You've been at Brookes for 3 years now, you've graduated, you're now doing a master's, and you swum for us for 3 years, and rumor has it you broke a record last year?
Yes, 200 IM long course.
That's awesome. What does swimming mean to you now? Obviously, with your condition under control, and with you having regular medication, what does swimming provide you with to this day?
I think it's a sense of comfort, getting into the pool. Although you're with your team and you're in your lane, you are in your little bubble when you're going up and down, you're not speaking to anyone, the occasional shout from your coach, but yeah, it's a sense of comfort and control and clearing of the mind. It's just a good stress release.
I mean, it all sounds very, very mental, what you're talking about. Now we'll come to the big elephant in the room of every interview right now. Coronavirus. Welcome back. How has that affected you? Because I think you had to shield, didn't you, during lockdown 1?
Yeah, so it was all very complicated and very last minute, and I got a text from my GP and it just all happened. Couldn't go out for my daily walks, which was really hard because I was, like you say, finishing my undergrad at that time. So not even being able to come out of my room was really tricky, and then especially not having access to the pool, that was really hard. physically, it was okay. Like I was doing yoga and I was doing HIIT in my room. I did miss the pool a lot, but it was that mental element that really impacted me, I think. Yeah, it was coming back in, and it was years and years that I had control, and then this virus has kind of brought it back and reminded me that actually it is still here, and I am still living with it despite pain and inflammation being controlled. Yeah, it was a big reminder.
So before we move on to your masters, I have a couple quick questions about that. You talk about how much control swimming gives you. Is this kind of your Zen place? Is the pool where you really just, everything comes inside, the world fades away?
Yeah. I think anywhere around water, but the pool definitely. It's just great. It's a great atmosphere, especially at competitions, galas, training. Your team, your family, and yeah, it's my happy place.
When the world returns to normal, which God knows when that will be, will one of the first places you go be the pool?
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait to get back in the pool, really. It's been a long time, since March, and it's the longest time I've been out. I think the time I've been out now equals the time I've been out when I had that big flare, and I can see why I was so eager to get back in the pool then, because I am very eager to get in now.
Obviously, we all have memories of childhood, but we don't remember the past as well as we remember the present. But do you get real flashbacks to being that age and not having control, or at that age did it just not matter?
I think because I was so young, I don't really know any different. That was my life. And I think the body is very clever at forgetting pain. So I don't really remember. I remember how bad it was and not being able to get out of bed and not being able to walk. I remember that. And I know it's coming for me again. The medication can't control it for so long. But that's why I swim. I will keep swimming until I can't really.
That's great though. And it's your Zen place, and it's good that everyone has that area they can go into and they can feel safe and they can feel calm. And I think we're all working to always just be in that place as much as we can. So would you say that your diagnosis of JIA had any bearing on what you're doing your masters in now?
I think so. I mean, from a young age, I was in and out of hospital, I was around that environment, and I've been exposed to people trying to better my well-being and health, and I want to do that. I want to help people do that, yeah.
Sounds like it's been a really positive experience for you as well, if you're wanting to join in and be part of this team. So all these people are trying to make you better, obviously there's kind of a support network around you. How important is having a support network to you just to keep going, especially in the times like we're living through right now?
So important. And although we're not in the pool, I think my teammates have been the biggest, sorry mum. My teammates have been the biggest support bubble for me during this. I mean, now that they know, because they didn't know I had JIA, it wasn't until lockdown that it all came out really. And they have been the biggest support bubble, and they're like, yeah, we'll get back in the pool. We all just lift each other up really, yeah.
So why did it take a worldwide pandemic and the shutting down of the entire world for those closest to you outside of your family to find out that you had JIA?
I don't like to make exceptions really, and there is a huge stigma around arthritis. You know, people just think it's aches and pains or wear and tear in old people, and there's a sense of being fragile, and I don't want to be seen as fragile. I want to be up with the rest of my team members. I don't want people to make anything different for me. I don't like anything extra. I just want to be with everyone else doing the same, and I think that's why. And because you can't see it, it's so managed, there's just no reason for me to tell anybody. And I think that's my way of controlling it myself as well. I'm not really sure.
I think now it's a really good time, and this is kind of coming to the end now, but to ask if there's one thing that you could pass on to people who are watching today, what would that be?
I think don't hide away, don't be conscious. I think I was so conscious to a point I was embarrassed. it's okay, like embrace it. It's okay if you can't open a jar one day, that's fine, the next day you will. But yeah, don't be conscious, just embrace it.
Grace, on behalf of myself, who's really enjoyed this, but everyone who's watching, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We've loved having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Please continue the conversation on #BrookesSport Disability Month or get in touch with us at the center. The link's in the description.